Hello everybody, my name is Panda and welcome back to Monster Hunter Stories 2 Wings of Ruin. As you can see, we are still rocking the same equipment that we have been this entire time. I just haven't found anything really better. We got the Flamazon maxed out, we got the War Drum now. The reason being is I was hunting some Tobys and you have to break the tail with the hunting horn to increase the retreat rate. Maxing this one out, it's actually one better than the Nursilla hammer that we had. And then we have the Blazing Bow, which is now officially maxed out because we were able to get Toby parts. I did work on the Kadachi armor. I found out that at max level, it is exactly the same as the Rathian armor. And the Kadachi armor is about as good as we can get right now as well, based on where we're at in the game. So really, in the end of the day, I'm still rocking the Rathian, still rocking the Nesting and Guard Heal. It helps me make monsters retreat, so I got really no complaints there. I'm just really surprised we haven't found anything better defense-wise. It's been kind of weird. As far as the monsties go, we still have the usual suspects. We have Zinogre. I'm thinking about replacing the Royal Ludroth with the Zam Trios. Defense-wise and similar, it gets a little bit better stats based on what I'm seeing per the Monsterpedia. I'm still torn on it, whether or not I want to spend the time, because in reality, we only have the three major hitters, Zinogre, Tigrex, and Monoblos. So there's really no reason to swap it out. There's not. So that's kind of where I'm at. Like, it gives me the swim ability, same as the Kutku gives me the break ability, both of which I need. So I'm thinking that these guys are really just going to be placeholders until I do find monsters that are significantly better and essentially allow me to replace them without losing out on something. Like, as far as the Blue Yin Kaku, the next monster with rock break ability is the Longombi. The Longombi has better base stats based on what I'm seeing here in the field guide. You can take a look at the Monsterpedia. When you look at the Blue Yin, we have max HP of 3, speed of 5, recovery of 3, and crit rate of 5. But if we go over to the Longombi here, we have 5-5-3-5. So it is a little bit better in the base stats. The same with the Zam Trios, how we have 6-4-6-5 versus the Ludroth's 5-4-5-3. So they would be worth replacing, and both of them give me the abilities that I'm otherwise losing. But at the same time, whereas I'm not using them, it really does me no harm keeping them in the party, as far as I'm concerned. There's really no boon to be had outside of having stronger monsters that I'm probably not going to use to attack anyway. So that's where we're at. I'm still torn on whether or not I want to do that, but that's going to come down the line. I'm sure we'll find something that's just a no-brainer switch, but I just haven't found it yet. As far as all the monsters are concerned, we have maxed out my Monsterpedia and similar as much as I could based on what we have. We have the Toby, we have the Longombi, the Jade Baroth. This is the Gammoth. Somewhere in here is the Red Khezu. I can't remember exactly where. We haven't come up across it yet. And then we got all the other monsters that I was ultimately missing. For our Monsterpedia, we're again also maxed out. Again, one of these is the Khezu, the other's the Red Khezu, I believe. Or the Red Khezu's right here. Again, I can't quite remember, but I know for sure that's Gammoth. I just haven't been able to beat it yet again, so we're kind of rocking a hard place there. Eventually I will, but until then, I'm just going to kind of chill out for a minute. Expedition's back. Let's go ahead and do that. What I've been doing with the Expedition is I have been sending them out and processing it for treasure so that I can get writing charms that I can just donate to the pot and max our pot out. Currently it's rank 15. So that's been super duper helpful for what I get out of it, if I do get anything out of it. In this case, I got one more charm. Nothing really to write home about. That strength nutriment is good, but that's about it. And we just keep sending them out. I'm leveling up some Longombi because at the time I thought, oh, I have this blue Longombi, I may as well change. But again, I'm just like, I don't know. I don't know if it's going to be worth it in the long run. So we'll see. We'll see what ends up happening. But in the meantime, I might as well use them for expeditions if I do decide to change my mind, because it is a blue Longombi. All the gene slots are unlockable. So it would be hard to say no to that one that currently is in my party. As far as hatching eggs, again, we've been mostly just working on getting some Toby eggs because I want to use the thunder abilities from Toby and throw them onto the Zinogre to make Zinogre a little bit stronger. I haven't been having much luck in that regard, but we have been successfully getting it to flee most of the time because with the hunting horn and a paintball, you're looking at 95%. So it's not too terribly bad. I'm going to toss on our Finding Prayer. I used the Selling Charm because I spent a bunch of money upgrading the Kadachi armor and getting the Kadachi armor, thinking that it was going to be better because it had a base or a higher base defense. But this Rathian gear, man, like, it is the cream of the crop right now. It gives me that nesting bonus, and I really don't care for evasion or thunder boost because I'm not using thunder-based weapons. So not really a tough decision. All things considered. Where we left off last time, though, we were told to go to a cave. In that cave is a silent assassin, of which I am predicting is going to be the Khezu. It has a lot of strong implication that it is the Khezu. So there's really nothing in my mind that would be a different monster that could be there. Let's go ahead and throw on some hot juice. Or hot mist, I guess. I apologize. I thought it was spray. And juice is what I had said incorrectly. I don't know why. After a while, all of the names, all of the items, they start to blend together. You know what you're looking for. You just spit out some random concoction of words and hope for the best. If we see any rare dens, we will definitely hit it up. I am intending to hit this as well on our way. I can't go any further. I tried. You get a cutscene right here. So when I accidentally triggered that cutscene because I plan to go grab this with Marvelous because you have a dig spot right here, I'm like, oh, nope. I don't want to accidentally trigger that. That's story progression. We're going to back it up. So we have backed it up a little bit. I had an autosave thing. So just as a heads up, I have accidentally triggered the cutscene here. I have not gone any further.
Guy said you're the one who made the windmills happen. Is that true, Avinia?
To tell the truth, he was terrified of Frostfang at first.
So, you mean he was against you coming back?
That's right.
But he seems perfectly fine around Frostfang now.
Getting him and other villagers to accept Frostfang was a painfully long process. When I returned with Frostfang by my side, I was hopeful. At the time, the village was in really bad shape. There was even a monster living there. It seemed like a lost cause.
What are we gonna do about that monster?
Frostfang, let's go!
Hey, it's Avinia! Did you come back to help us?
Why else? Frostfang and I came back to do our part.
I'm sorry about what I said to you. Stay in Kuan, please. Frostfang can stay too, of course.
Okay, I'll stay. Let's rebuild our village together. They accepted Frostfang into the community, so we stayed. The windmills were the first things we rebuilt together. They mean so much to Kuan. They've come to symbolize all of us coming together, Frostfang included.
Aw, I love a happy ending. And Frostfang became part of the Kuan family. Now, if we could only get people to trust Ratha, too.
I know how you feel about Ratha. He's as special to you as Frostfang is to me. You want him to be accepted? Keep trying. And eventually, people will come around.
Yeah! And remember, you can count on me all the way!
The monster in the cave is a Khezu. I'm sure of it. A long time ago, I got attacked by one and it knocked me out cold. This won't be easy.
And with that, that further solidifies my my assumption that it's a Khezu. And it's just one of those things, when you play Monster Hunter titles enough and you get used to the monsters and the way that people describe them, that it becomes more and more apparent, you know, oh, this is going to be X or this is going to be Y. Same with the Pookie, where they're just like, oh, the monster spits venom. And I'm like, well, what I mean, there's a lot that do, but at this point, like, we would consider a Thrash Sword? Hello? Well, hell, I have 2 now. Fantastic. Great. I can always sell one, though. That's going to be fine. I'm going to hit this Everden. If there's anything interesting in here, we'll obviously skip to it. The reason why I want to hit this Everden is because I'm pretty confident this is where that Red Khezu resides. I will show you the Red Khezu fight because it is fun. I'll show you the regular Khezu fight when we get to the other place because that's part of the story. But bear with me. I will be right back. Alrighty, so I was correct. The Red Khezu was in this Everden. We are going to take it on. Well, I got you here because it is a new monster fight, and I am excited to show it off to you guys. Hopefully you enjoy the battle. It's going to be nothing crazy, though, I promise. Khezu, for the most part, are relatively easy to fight, at least in my experience, based on my level. Like, right now, I am way over-leveled, so it's... it's a terrible, terrible thing. I don't think it's speed first. I bet it's technical. As far as Avinia is concerned, this is probably going to be a bounce. We're going to go ahead and just attack it so we can figure out what it is weak against in terms of head and body. Let's start with the hammer. Because I don't remember. It's been a second since I've... Oh, I don't even... Well, I guess I have the war drum. That's fine. We'll start with the war drum. It's been a second since I've done this. I can't remember off the top of my head what the process is for the Khezu, but I'm pretty sure it's a technical base. And then the body's weak to sword, but I can't remember what the head's weak to. So it's not the hammer, unfortunately. I don't think the head was weak to sword, though. Let's go ahead and try the bow. Poor Avinia's getting beat up on. Okay, so the head is weak to bow. We'll remember that for when we take on the regular Khezu, assuming that it's the same situation. The body, I do know for sure, is weak to this sword, though. I remember that specifically. Now, we know that regular monsters in terms of when it's charged up, is it speed or is it power? I don't remember. Reximus is going speed. If it is speed, I doubt it's technical again, but if it is speed or if it is power, this is going to work. So the worst case scenario, we bounce. We bounce. We know that story-based interactions here where the health bar is gray, when you use a paintball, it doesn't work. So where it's drooling at the mouth, we know for a fact that it's weak. I'm going to try and toss a paintball for science to see if it is all gray-based monsters. None of them will retreat on the first battle. So it did work. It's only story-based monsters. If you find a monster that's gray-based and it's not part of a story battle, you can get it to retreat. Maybe? Well, it didn't say ineffective, but it also didn't give me a retreat rate, so I may be mistaken. It may still not work. I will... Ew, only a D rank? That's unfortunate. I'll keep testing it. I'll keep testing it, and I'll follow up with you guys on the next part. If this works or not. Well, it's going to be hard to test. Well, not significantly hard to test. I'll try and test it. We'll figure it out together. Or if you know, leave me a comment below. Let me know. Does the paintball work for gray-based monsters, first fight, that aren't story-based? Because we know story-based, if I throw a paintball, it says ineffective. It tells you right out. It's not going to work. So we'll figure it out together, or if you know, leave me a comment below. Otherwise, I will follow. Either way, I'll follow up next part being like, hey, we figured it out. This is X. So... Alrighty, back to what we were doing. We're going to go take on a regular Khezu now. Or maybe you can't catch a red Khezu. I thought you could when we looked at it the first time. Monsterpedia? Yeah, regular Khezu can be caught. Or red-based Khezu, I'm sorry, red Khezu. Break the head with the bow to reduce or boost the retreat rate. Well, that would have been great to know when we were fighting it because we were using the bow. We did break it with the bow. Huh, maybe it doesn't work. Either way, I'm sorry. I'm taking way too much time on that. I'm trying to speculate. Off we go to fight the regular Khezu. All right, bring up the map. And we'll start mapping this place out, see what we can get for items and treasure. We will take on this Jade Baroth because I want Jade Baroth parts. I don't know what they're used for. I don't see any weapons or similar, but I need them all the same. I know that you can build a Jade Baroth armor set, so I think that may be the only thing, but I didn't see any weapons, so if not just the armor set, it's probably used for upgrades. That's why I like to have about 20 parts on hand, give or take, of the various parts accordingly. That way, if I do just randomly need them, I have them on hand. I don't have to go and hunt something, assuming that I'm not running low. So 20 is my magic number. I like 20. 20 on the base, about 10 on the +3, and about like 5 or 6 on the +10 is about where I like to be at. Ooh, 10,000 Zenny. I really didn't need it. I'm sitting at 297,000 because I ended up I had like 60 Penance Fangs and stuff like that, so I popped the selling charm. That's why you see it. But that got me like 130,000 Zenny when I went and sold everything with the selling charm on. We will head north just to check if there is a passageway up this way, which it looks to be there is. But yeah, I'm a little salty about the Toby armor. Like, the Toby armor has... I'm gonna get surprise attacked. Shoot. Can't say that I didn't deserve that. Yeah, I'm a little salty about the Toby armor because I thought it had a higher base on creation. So it was higher than the Rathian. It was higher than the Anjanath. I know that from our past our playthrough, before we restarted, that the Anjanath gear was less than that of the Rathian. Or it was close to. I think it was like a point difference. So I'm just like, well, maybe the Toby is the key here. Maybe with the Toby armor, we can get something that's a little bit better than the Rathian in base defense. I thought maybe it would be the 90s or so. Like, it's 88 for the Rathian, 88 for the Toby after everything's maxed out. So I'm just like, well, that makes a little bit of sense. We'll try it. But yeah, I didn't bother finishing upgrading it. I decided that it just wasn't going to be worth it ultimately. Because we're just not using thunder weapons or anything worth meriting having that armor. So it's cool. It's cool design. Love it to do. Ooh, well, if that's the Khezu, then I'm going the other way. Be careful, it could be a Khezu. Yes, yes, yes. Naviru's whiskers are tingling, and I was pressing that A button a little too fast out of force of habit, so I missed that dialogue, and I apologize. Weak PT. Is that weak part? Is that a good part breaker? Increase crit rate somewhat when hitting a monster part with an advantageous weapon. Ooh. We can go ahead and equip that because obviously the Khezu's not going to be able to run due to the fact that it's a story monster and we know that that doesn't work. And then just for the sake of experimenting, I will throw a paintball at it just for the S&Gs because then you'll see that ineffective pop up like what we've... Well, I guess you didn't see it, I did. But with Toby, when we threw... Well, no, I don't know if I threw it on that last Toby fight. I can't remember. Either way, point is, I know, and I'm letting you know, that when you're fighting a gray base health bar monster, you're going to see it say ineffective. If it's story-based. So... Huh, all clear. What? No way, my whiskers are never wrong. Nothing to the right or left, nothing in front of us, which leaves one more option. The roof! Watch out, behind you! Oh. I thought the Khezu would be on the ceiling. I mean, I've seen it. We've seen it in Rise. So I thought for sure it was just going to be crawling all over the ceiling, but I guess not. It was a Khezu all along. These creepy things are experts at sneak attacks. Okay, so from the Red Khezu that we fought, we know that it starts off as a technical and then moves to speed. So we'll all sit with the power. It's attacking Frostfang. Frostfang and Avinia should have the double. I don't know if this Khezu has the same retreat as the other Khezu. So I'm going to pull out the bow just... Well, it doesn't matter. It's not going to retreat regardless, but... We know that the head should be weak to the bow. Rex, that's not gonna work. Let's go ahead and pull out Bibbidi. Because if we're gonna continue pushing power, the only way that I'm gonna get lucky with it with Rex is if he continues to push power on his own, and unfortunately it's just not guaranteed, so. Get him, Bibbidi! Oh, it's really mad now. Keep an eye on your attack patterns. Or its attack patterns, I apologize. Is it attacking somebody or is it gonna do a skill? It looks like it's gonna do a skill. Roar. Ow! Oh, that cries worse than claws on slate. Khezu roars can paralyze you. You have to block out the sound somehow. Well, I don't have any earplugs or anything, so I don't know how I'm gonna go about doing that. The Red Khezu didn't roar. What the hell? Red Khezu is easier, confirmed. The Red Khezu was power-based, so... Or, well, it had electricity. It wasn't red-faced. Outside of the skin color, of course. It wasn't matte. Hell. What's the best course of action here? Is it going to do power or is it going to do speed? I'm willing to gamble it's going to do power. Because of that, well, Bibbidi thankfully has a speed attack, and then I, of course, have a speed attack. I don't know if Bo's going to be good against the body, though, so we'll give it a shot. Okay, cool. Called it. So if it's electrified... Well, Bo's not great, so unfortunate. If it's electricity-based, as far as the power-up, it will be speed. If it is just red-faced, it will be angry and do power. So now we know. Now we know. It's not attacking anybody, meaning it's probably going to do a roar, so we'll go ahead and do the right on to negate the roar. I think that's going to be the best course of action right now because I don't want to get hit again. Oh no, Thunderfield. What does Thunderfield do? I wonder if that's what the other Khezu did with power or electrified up. I guess we're going to find out now. Bow is not good. I need to get rid of the bow. We will swoop. I meant to click the sword, not the drum. Thunderfield. That hurt. Whoa, now it's cutting loose with electrical attacks. Trust me, you do not want to get hit by one of those. Oh, and it hits the whole damn team. What am I supposed to do? Alright. I am out of everything. It is moved to technical, so we're fine. I don't need to do anything in this regard. And apparently the horn works, so we'll just keep at it. Ah, Frostfang, you're paralyzed. I am so sorry. I don't know if I have anything to cure that either. I probably do. I'm not going to bother looking, though. You being paralyzed isn't going to hurt anything. Oh, I should be throwing that paintball. Shoot. Okay, we'll throw the paintball this round. It's starting to drool. So this is what happens. when you try and catch a monster via, well, I keep saying catch. I'm so sorry. When you try and make a monster retreat that's gray barred because it is part of the quest, this is what you see. Ineffective. We didn't see that on the Red Khezu. So it leads me to believe that it's only applicable to the story-based ones. However, even though we saw ineffective when we knocked it out, it didn't give me any indication on the right-hand side of an increase in the retreat rate. So I'm curious, and that's why I want to experiment with it. Is that going to be applicable or not? Because normally on the right-hand side there, I can hardly believe it. I've never seen a rider improve so quickly before. Normally on the right-hand side there, we have information based on what we get. So if you get the bonus for killing it out next turns, everything along those lines, but it'll give you the retreat rate. It'll give you the base percentage is increased by X. So we just didn't see that last time, and I just don't know why that would have been. Ooh, Fortune Fang.
Buddy, you've gotten stronger. It's all thanks to your bonds with different monsters. Keep it up, and you'll be a positively claudacious rider, just like the one who inspired Avinia.
Who said that boy was a rider?
So, he isn't a rider?
He tried his hardest to become a rider, but it just never worked out for him. If anyone should know that, it's you, Naviru.
How? I think you're being a bit unfair. I never even met the guy.
You've really forgotten him?
Wait, so it's someone I know, like, personally?
He never earned the title of rider, but he did ride the Great Poogie. Though, the Poogie wasn't very pleased.
No way! You mean to tell me it's... Debly?
Okay, let's get going.
Naviru doesn't look too thrilled about that. Ah, good. My expedition is back. Nothing to pick up in this backside here. We'll just go ahead and teleport back to the village. All right, now that we have a Khezu under our belt, we can actually take a look at the status of it here. Ba, 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 ba. Oh yeah, okay, so it is the two Khezus. Bam, bam, bam. Fantastic. All right. Attacking with the Shrouded Narcilla kinship skill boost. Or kinship skill to boost the retreat rate, okay. So this is just a regular Narcilla. Means we have a Shrouded Narcilla. I have no idea what that would look like. I don't think I've ever seen it, but it may fall in here or one of these two. So I guess we'll find out, but just not today. It's a real shame. We'll go ahead and report to the chief, but before we do that, let's look at the expedition, see if we got anything fancy. And then we'll take a look at the weapons and armor that we can potentially get from the Khezu. Now, the Khezu armor is so disgusting. I hate it so much. If you enjoy it, kudos to you. I can't get behind it, and I'm really hoping it's not in the game. Monster Exposition. Sap Plant, Hefcorn, Mounting Charm, Strength Nutriment. Okay, I'm on board with that. Treasure Hunter's the way to go. Our rare item rate is just so low. But we'll just keep sending them out. I'll try and figure out what drives that. I don't know if it's a rarity tier monster. The higher the rarity tier, the higher the rarity for the expedition is, or however that works, but we'll figure it out. Forge weapons. Usurper's Rumble, Stripe, Tigrex, Khezu Shocks. Oh, it's so disgusting. Oh, it's just flabby skin. Oh, I hate it. I hate it so much. It bothers me. I don't know why. Again, if you like the Khezu material items, like, kudos to you. You are definitely more stronger-willed than I. Yeah, Bag of Horrors. Look at it. It's just so awkward. Oh, I don't like it anymore. Cluster Hammer, 54 base, 68 base. So it might be worth picking up the Khezu stuff and just dealing with it. Just sucking it up. It might be worth it. Yeah, it's hard to say. Well, I mean, the full voltage, I don't know. That Bag of Horrors, though, man, that's going to be rough to deal with for a while. Same with the Khezu Shock Sword. I just am not a fan. What's our Flamazon at the base of 63? We're not going to switch out. I would assume that it's going to be very similar. So, really, the Bag of Horrors is ultimately what it's going to come down to at that 68. The War Drum is a 56. The Khezu's a 63. Like, one of those two is really ultimately going to be something we would want to swap out here. So, we'll figure that out. We'll get that figured out and go from there. But, ooh, the armor. Ooh, the armor. Oh, it's so gross. And the Khezu U. Khezu U is not too bad. The Khezu U I actually don't mind so much. It's just the regular old Khezu. At least it doesn't look as skin-based in this one. Like, if you look at it in Rise and stuff or World, awkward. Can't handle it. Cool. But that's the Khezu stuff. 66 on a base, 65 on a base, 62 on a base. Crit heal and thunder boost versus self heal and thunder defense boost. That thunder defense boost might be nice against an ogre. Yeah, we'll look at it. We'll get it all figured out, but not today. No, not today. Let's go ahead and finish this out.
Chief, Anna, look who's back! And pause for effect. We got the windmill parts you need!
Welcome back, my friends. I see you've dealt with the Khezu. Of course, I expected no less from legendary heroes.
Chief, this actually isn't the legendary ride.
Chief, you set the bar pretty high for us, huh?
Thanks to your sweat and hard work, we'll have all the windmills working again. That's one thing off the to-do list.
One thing? To-do list? Sounds like there's more.
Yes, I've been too tied up here to look into the pit. I'd love to have your help, my friends.
All right, let's get to the pit.
Please, be careful out there. I'm not sure why, but the monsters near that pit have been acting up.
You're telling me the Zamtrios we met outside the village was not what I would call friendly.
I see. Seems to be happening all around. The guild's calling the lights Rage Rays.
Rage rays?
The strange light from the pits is what's enraging monsters. At least, that's the guild's theory.
Light that makes monsters mad.
You may run into some Rage Raid monsters by the pit. Keep an eye out.
Don't worry about us, Chief. Let the legendary duo handle this.
Thank you. Good luck, my friends.
We've been searching far and wide, but still no trace of old Day-Day. The felines and I will keep up the search.
The light emerging from the pit is causing monsters' strange behavior. The Rage Ray phenomenon has spread farther than Quan, and the stories of its happening all across the land. What could be the connection between the pits, the light, and the Rage Rays? You head towards the pit to find out, but not today, no! The pit is at the top of the snow-clad Mount Lavinia. Perfect. We will take on the pit tomorrow. Now, what is at that pit is a great question, but usually, now historically speaking, anytime that we deal with any Rage Raid monster, with the exception of the Zamtrios coming in, it is usually the end of a chapter and we move on to a new location. Based on our Monsterpedia and field guides here, we do have one location that's left that we haven't hit, obviously. And a lot of this is filled out more or less. We have a couple of small monsters here, we have a monster here, and then this is the Gammoth. Anything after that, it's hard to say if it's going to be a part of this or the next location. I would expect the next, because we have a handful of monsters here that are just basic monsters. We're not going to do anything in terms of A, collecting, and that kind of stands true once you go into any new location, as seen below. Like we have 1, 2, 3, 4 monsters when we got into Akala, and then we started collecting, and then same is kind of true with Ikoa, where we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and a couple of collections there. So we will see what is waiting for us next time. But if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, leave them in the comment section below. I am always happy to read them, and I always respond back. And, well, I guess until then, take care. Bye.